Will number 4 live up to expectations? Certainly looked a good one on paper. Kell Brook, a coming man in the welterweight division against Michael Jennings, who's been there and done it all. Both boxers highly confident of victory.
He's somewhat of a passing of the torch here. I mean, Jennings has almost 10 years he's given up to Brook. Clearly that's 10 more years of experience as well. Brook, on the other hand, flashy fighter. As you mentioned, the similarities to Prince Nazim, uncanny.
That's the voice of Cass Chalice ringside on frankwarren.tv. I'm Ian Axon, calling the fights here at the LG Arena in Birmingham. It's Jennings against Brook. A cagey start from both boxers. Jennings just looking a little bit flat-footed, a little bit edgy, as he often does in fights. A slow starter, been caught cold before, down in the first round a couple of times. He has a first-round victory in a British title fight as well, so dangerous too. I would have thought the power lies with Kell Brook. He has the far higher KO percentage. As he's moved up through domestic class, looked really, really good.
Nice straight jab by Brook.
Yeah, lovely jab. You can't stress though, Jennings is experienced. Brook's not been beyond 8 rounds before. Jennings has done the 12 a couple of times. He has the rounds in the bank. Brook just picking him off at the moment. He's had the better of the opening exchanges. Good jab again from Kell Brook.
Yeah, Ian, that is a laser jab by Kell Brook. I mean, it's really apparent from up close. It's going to be tough for Jennings to combat that. He's going to have to really keep his distance and keep his right hand up.
Looks very laid back as well, doesn't he, Kell Brook?
Yeah, it doesn't really seem that he's too concerned about Jennings. He's just coming through, and Jennings, for that matter, doesn't really look like he's broken a sweat. Looks a little dry in there.
Still looks very tight, Jennings. Brook, I think, the first to settle in the fight. Jennings' face just beginning to redden. He's very pale though. He does have that tendency to mark up a bit.
Certainly of the fairer skin, it's going to show the red welts, and they traded red roses, as you mentioned earlier, during fight week, and see if they trade some red blood here, as you start to see the welts already, as you mentioned, forming on Michael's body.
As we nearing the end of the first round here. Brook's edged it.
Filling out round, that first one, huh?
Absolutely. Not too much in the way of action. I think Brook, the first to settle, will go to his corner now.
All he's doing then, he just tried to pressure with his little feet and you backed off a little bit. Don't hold your ground, do his hand, knock his gloves down, just get off the step in a little bit. You're just firing and throwing from a little bit too far back, overstretching a little bit, he's just edging out. So pace him down a little bit and get that jab working, snap. You just got to follow him when that jab hits.
Real experience in the corner of Kell Brook.
Yeah, it so was, and you know, Kell looked like he was in a classroom, not in a ring here in the LG Arena. I mean, he was really calm and collected as he took those instructions.
It's funny, they get the kids in when they're 7 or 8. It's almost like a second family in the Ingle gym. You see Michael Jennings' corner, experience there too in the form of Brian Hughes. Remember, he's the man who took Robin Reed to a world title at super middle. 2 highly experienced corners, imparting all their wisdom, and both boxers will need it this evening. Underway here in the second round.
There's a lot at stake here. This is a big title on the line right here. I mean, both boxers want this badly. It really will make a real impression on the division, whoever comes away with this victory tonight.
And you sense as well, I'm going to keep making the point that Pacquiao is the world champion. I would have thought he's going to vacate though. And it'll be a good opportunity for whoever wins out of this one to go on and fight for the vacant title.
It sure will. However, I mean, Kell Brook just looks like a man with a mission here. That piston jab, I mean, there he's just sort of laying it out there, but when he fires it straight, boy, I mean, it's going right down the center, and he hasn't even followed it up with the right yet.
He does bear an uncanny resemblance to Nazim Hamed, Kell Brook. Naz is ringside here this evening.
Jennings seeming very lethargic through the second round here. Hasn't really gotten off just yet.
To me, he still looks a little bit tense, trying to find his way into this fight. He's only really shown any aggression when in the clinches, when he can't do too much damage. Very cagey. Good shot there from Brook. Double the jab. Referee this evening, Terry O'Connor, just gives Kell Brook a little lecture on holding. Crowd try and get behind Jennings. He's a popular man, Michael Jennings. He was always a big ticket seller when he fought up in Manchester. He was part of the Ricky Hatton scene.
Yeah, and
back in the day.
He's a sympathetic character too. I mean, you know, he's real likable. He went out to across the pond to fight Miguel Cotto, and you know, certainly the biggest fight of his career. No one gave him any chance of winning, and you know, he went in there like a warrior. He did what he had to do, and he came back nonetheless dejected. I mean, that could have really depressed another boxer and maybe even side railed their career. But I mean, here we are, Michael Jennings fighting for the belt. Not very long thereafter.
Did you get a chance to meet him at the press conferences out there, Cass?
No, unfortunately I didn't. However, I could tell you right away that even the American fans, you know, were impressed. You know, he came out against, you know, Cotto is really a hero. He's somewhat of a living legend, even though he's still boxing. And Jennings had really been fairly unheard of across the pond, and not anymore.
A really nice guy, Michael Jennings. One of the nicest in the sport, but he's up against it here this evening. Takes a couple of shots there from Kell Brook. Brook said he wanted to do the job quicker than Miguel Cotto. Cotto won in 5 rounds. Brook's still got a bit of time if he's be true to his word this evening as the bell goes for the end of the second. Another good round for Kell Brook.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you know, Kell is, you know, starting to put a stamp on his youth, if you will. I mean, he's clearly the faster boxer. He's the younger boxer. Perhaps he's less experienced, but it doesn't seem like so far Jennings has really used the experience to his advantage.
Well, Brook looks as if there's a lot more in the tank as well, doesn't he? He looks very languid and was throwing out that jab, as you say. He's not really needed to throw any more punches yet.
No, but I think that's about to change. Don't think this one's going to go the distance.
Ingles in the corner there. Giving some advice to Kell Brook. That was a good right hand, probably the best punch that Brook's thrown.
Yeah, you could see both of them let their hands go at the same time, but Kell's just finds his way to the target a lot quicker. Nice uppercut to the solar plexus by Kell Brook to start the round.
Jennings has been buzzing around, but he's not really thrown too many punches at all so far in the fight. It's been first 2 rounds for Brook, really. Brook just beating him to the punch at the moment. Wrestling up close.
Jennings would be well served to continue with this lateral movement. I mean, with Kell Brook's style, very unorthodox. You can't sit there as a sitting duck for Kell. He's going to need to move from side to side and, you know, show some angles to keep Kell guessing, basically.
It's a little bit messy in the 3rd round. Referee Mr. O'Connor keeps telling him not to hold. Now he's decided he's seen too much. It's funny, we didn't really see the referee in any of the first 3 fights. Great action fights. This one a little bit messier. Brook's always going to be that easy on the eye with that Ingles style. Good body shot there from Jennings. That comes Brook though. And a good right hand from Kell Brook.
Kell Brook definitely the stronger boxer in there tonight. Jennings very much on the defensive. I mean, I don't see any offense from him whatsoever. And there's a big left hand by Kell, also snapped the head back of Michael.
Jennings stepped around it though and did get in a left hand to the body. Again, a bit of wrestling. These third rounders not being the best. So we're waiting for this fight to really get going.
There's a full arena here tonight. You look around here at the LG Arena, Frank Warren really knows how to pack a stadium. I can tell you it's a beautiful night here for boxing.
Yeah, the crowd really got into that last fight. Nathan Cleverly against Kawamura. It was a real thriller. This one just taking a little longer to get going.
It was a nice left hand by Michael that snapped the head back at Kell. Reminded Kell he's not the only boxer in there tonight.
Sometimes Jennings does take a little bit of time to get going. We made the point before the fight. Certainly a man suited to 12 rounds rather than 6 or 8.
Well, he's got 12 rounds here tonight. Let's see what he can do with it, huh? That's the end of the third round. How'd you see that last round? Tough to call, huh?
Yeah, not the easiest. Almost make a good case there for having it even. Kell Brook's corner just telling him to use the jab more. That's what he did in the first couple of rounds. Looks very, very unfazed in the corner though, Kell Brook.
Jennings just seems a little disappointed almost in his own performance, as if this fight is not unfolding the way he had planned, and that's unfortunate because it's within his control right here and now. This is the time to change that. He could do it if he wants.
He's not quite got a grip on the fight yet, has he? There's no real foothold here for him, toehold at all. The odd punch has got through, but it doesn't help that he's moving backwards as well, isn't he? As you said, always on the defensive.
Yeah, despite all the build-up, this is somewhat of a short story without a plot just yet. It's slowly starting to develop, but at this point, Kell Brook certainly the protagonist.
Well, if the fuse has been lit, it's burning very slowly.
Well said.
It's still some way from the dynamite. But early days yet. It's only the 4th round. This one's scheduled for 12. Maybe Jennings' plan, you know. He made that point at the press conference that Brook hadn't been more than 8 rounds before. Jennings is always so fit and fights at such a high pace that the fight goes into the latter stages. Jennings may fancy his chances. Better work from him in this 4th round. Just beginning to come into the fight.
And so is his supporters here. You hear the chant for Jennings. You know, you're hearing Kell Brook is young, he's strong, and he's fast, but Jennings is hard. He's been around. He's done many rounds. He's been in better opposition, and you know, he may just have a game plan here.
I suppose after you fought Miguel Cotto, fighting Kell Brook doesn't really faze you. Brook just had a little glance to his corner there. I don't like boxers doing that. Sometimes suggests that they're running out of ideas.
That was a nice 1-2 by Michael Jennings.
Yeah, just caught Brook a little flat-footed as well. This is where Jennings' experience may come into play. If Brook doesn't have a plan B, interesting. I think Jennings' best round of the fight, Cass.
Yeah, I would say Jennings is finally starting to show some signs of what got him here. And, you know, he's a smart fighter. He's a thinking man's fighter. You could see that much. He's trying to figure out what to do, but at the same time, he's getting caught with a couple. He's going to have to keep those hands a little bit higher if he wants to play it safe.
Good shot there from Kell Brook. I wonder if Jennings just whispered in his ear in the clinch.
What do you think he said to him?
Dinner later. Interesting character, Michael Jennings. He plays drums in a punk band. Quite a good punk band by all accounts as well. They're called the Shocks. It'll be a shock if he wins tonight.
certainly trying to show Kell Brook he's no punk. And that's the end of the 4th round, and probably the best round Michael Jennings shown us so far.
We just made the point at the start of the round that he needed to get a toe hold, and that round may just have given him away into the fight.
Yeah, I would agree. It seems as if he finally found an avenue to stroll down, and you know, I don't know exactly how you would define what he found. However, he found something, and if he can continue to work that route, he may just be able to make some inroads here as we get towards the middle rounds.
Seeing some pictures of Commonwealth heavyweight champion Sam Sexton, who fights a little later this evening. At the moment, we're 4 rounds into this world title eliminator between Kell Brook and Michael Jennings. It's more of a chess match at the moment than a barn burner.
And if that's the case, then Kell Brook's taken a few of Michael's pawns. However, looks like Michael just slid a bishop into position, trying to come from some sort of angle, we're just not sure which.
Good shot from Brook. Left hand, and it's Brook who's on the offensive at the start of this 5th round. Will it be the Yorkshireman who gets checkmate in this fight? He's got Jennings backed up into a neutral corner.
Some big right hands there, Ian.
Jennings is cut around the right eye. It's on the corner of the eye. And it's a bad one, I think, because referee Terry O'Connor goes to the corner. A little shake of the head from Jennings. And it's all over. Yeah. It's all over. We've not seen the cut on camera, but it must have been a bad one. Referee Terry O'Connor took Michael Jennings to the corner straight away. And once he was there, he said, no, no. Jennings shakes his head, shrugs his shoulders. Still not seen the cut. Oh, it is a bad one. You can see it now. The eye is swollen up already.
Yeah, well, he ate some vicious shots here in the corner. There's no question as to where the cut came from. I mean, 2 big punches by Kell Brook here right at ringside in the corner, and as soon as he got up, it was just open.
An unsatisfactory way for things to finish.
Almost as if there was some thin scar tissue over the eyes of Michael Jennings. It really cut rather easily. It must have been a perfectly placed shot.
Here's the replay of the ending to the fight. Oh no, it was there. It was already there.
It was a glancing left uppercut. It was really not the power of the punch, but the leather sliding across the skin, because he really didn't make full contact. It looked harder than it actually was.
It was before the exchange in the corner. Oh, messy. The punch did land, didn't it? It was a bit messy from Brook as he threw it, and that's what caused the cut. It's now Kell Brook off picture. Here we go, raising his hands. A few boos from the crowd.
Yeah, the leather of that glove cut his skin like a hot knife through butter, and Michael Jennings just didn't really stand a chance.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 47 seconds of round 5, your referee has stopped the contest due to a serious cut to the eye. So the winner, and still the WBO Intercontinental Welterweight Champion from Sheffield, Kell Special K Brook.
Well, he's a true gent, Michael Jennings. He raises Kell Brook's arm to the crowd. He'll be feeling very, very disappointed. He just had quite a good round in the 4th, Jennings.